on the go with Joe this morning, and today his guests are gathering steam while preparing for a weekend event.
Yeah, Joe's learning about a convention that's all about a unique entertainment genre called Steampunk. He's live in Beaverton to tell us more about it. And Joe, perhaps you can explain for people who aren't familiar with this.
Yes, well, we will get into that. We've got the experts here at the Clockwork Rose Tea Emporium in Beaverton getting ready for this weekend's steampunk convention. It's called GearCon. I've got a number of folks right here. We're going to start with Julie McGowan. Julie, GearCon. First of all, tell us what is the event itself.
So GearCon is a steampunk convention. GearCon stands for Gaslight Fantastic Explorers, Adventurers, and Romantics Convention. And basically, it's a celebration of all things steampunk and shorthand, neo-Victorian science fiction.
Okay, so what that means, we're talking like H.G. Wells, Jules Verne, like that kind of era of science fiction a little bit, right?
Exactly.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
So now this tea room, it's very cool. The event itself is at the DoubleTree, but we're here. It's actually a steampunk-themed tea room in Beaverton. They've been here about a year. You can get a little vibe for what the aesthetic of steampunk is. Like, they built this Zeppelin right here with all the gears on it you see right here. And the clothing, like, well, you see Vanity right here and myself. The idea is like, again, kind of Victorian wear, but kind of seen through the prism of the 21st century and with all sorts of sci-fi elements. Now, Julie, tell us a little bit about the schedule, what will be happening, because it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Portland DoubleTree.
That's true. On Friday night, we have Vanity's Vaudeville Vixens, which is a burlesque review, led by our glorious Vanity here. And then Saturday night, we will have a concert and ball. And then Sunday, we will have a magic show. And throughout the weekend, there will, of course, be workshops and panels and presentations all about various things that play into steampunk as an aesthetic, as a subculture, as a genre, etc.
And our friends from Academia Duellatoria, who maybe about a month ago, they were whacking me around with swords. They're doing a self-defense class as well?
Yes, the Victorian Martial Arts Symposium 5, year 5, is happening at GearCon this year.
Do you all have like steampunk names and that sort of thing?
To each their own. Some people
I think
do.
Joe V's not cutting it. I need to come up with by the end of the show, I got to have a steampunk alter ego name. All right, so we're going to work on that.
Yeah, let's find you something nice.
Okay, we'll focus group that. We're going to have a lot more coming your way as you get you ready for GearCon a little bit later in the show. Back to you in the studio.
Joe, good morning.
And Kim, earlier on Twitter, I put out a request to ask people to give me a new steampunk name, because that's what GearCon is.
Okay, I wanted to
and
make
our own Tony Martinez, Tony Martinez gave us one. So
I do have a list.
Okay.
Well, well, before.
Yes.
Yeah, Tony, we took it, we saw it, we tweaked it a little bit. I got some suggestions from the GearCon people. So for the rest of the morning, you can call me Professor Joseph Google Tops. Okay, that's what we're going with. Professor Joseph Google Tops. Thank you very much for the suggestion. I am a man of science and a man of steam. GearCon is this weekend at the Portland DoubleTree. We're at the Clockwork Rose Tea Emporium in Beaverton, getting a little preview. It's all things steampunk. So think 19th century sci-fi, Victorian era culture at its finest. Now, Jeff Richardson. You may recognize Jeff because I've had him on the show for other events. He's with Academia Duellatoria. How are you?
Pretty good.
Okay, so a couple times in the past few months, you and your friend have been banging swords on my head, but today you have a cane with you, or I should say a walking stick. To explain to us why.
Well, I brought some sabers. We can bang you in the head.
No, that's not necessary.
We're running the Victorian Martial Arts Symposium.
Okay, tell us about that.
The Victorian Martial Arts Symposium will cover martial arts systems from the Victorian era. So it'll cover military saber, which you don't want me to hit you with.
Thank you.
And Bartitsu.
Bartitsu. Now, this is something I had never heard of until you told me about it. It's an old, again, kind of 19th century martial art. Sherlock Holmes used Bartitsu, is that right?
Exactly. That's the martial art that Sherlock Holmes was, in the books, told he used to survive his fall off of Reichenbach Falls.
And essentially, it's kind of, what, whacking people with your stick? Is that what it is?
Well, Bartitsu is a combination of jiu-jitsu, savate, which is French kickboxing, old school bare-knuckle pugilism.
Okay, this is sounding less and less enticing. Keep going.
And fighting with a cane. Okay.
So I don't want you to swing that. Okay, thank you for that. No, that won't be necessary. We're in a team, like literally you're a bull in a china shop right now. So is there something you can show me that doesn't involve you whacking me with the stick here?
For example, if you decide to grab my wrist, I could take this up and use this tail end to put you in a wrist lock.
Okay. Ow. All right. Yep. Got it.
And I can bring this around.
All right. Yeah. Hey, I'm a professor. Watch it there, pal. Hey, so GearCon, once again, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Portland DoubleTree. For more information on it, just go to kptv.com. Thank you all. Now, coming up for our final segment, because, Jeff, you have a history of whacking me around on camera, we're going to do something else. We're going to settle it in a good old-fashioned duel, but it's going to be a T-duel. Is that right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so if you've never seen a T-duel, stick around for that. May the best professor win.
Trying to even up the odds, right?
That's right. Okay, a good old-fashioned T-duel coming your way as we celebrate GearCon. Back to you in the studio. This is Professor Joseph Googletops signing off.
I don't see this going well for you, Joe, so we'll all tune in, see how this goes.
It's funny. We're on the go with Joe this morning, and today his guests are gathering steam while preparing for a weekend event.
He joins us live from Beaverton with details. Good morning.
And a reminder, once again, the name today, at least for one more segment, Professor Joseph Googletops, Director of the Royal Society of Alchemy. We are here at the Clockwork Rose Tea Emporium in Beaverton. We are getting ready for GearCon, which is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All things steampunk. For those of you just joining us and you're not familiar with steampunk, once again, it's kind of 19th century sci-fi, but kind of with a 21st century twist to it. Julie McGowan, we've talked about all the fun events that are part of GearCon. We talked about Vanity's burlesque show, the Victorian martial arts defense class, all sorts of stuff. There's one other event, and it actually ties in beautifully to where we are today. I want to thank, by the way, the folks here at the Clockwork Rose, because it's a really cool venue. It's a steampunk-themed tea room. They do high tea and all sorts of things here off Broadway in Beaverton. And one event at GearCon, which I'd never heard of until a couple days ago, tea dueling. What is tea dueling? And I understand it's happening at GearCon.
Yes, we will be running a competition of tea dueling, and tea dueling is kind of a game of chicken, where each member takes a cookie, and
I believe it's called a biscuit.
a biscuit. Yes,
Yes, thank you very much.
The regulation biscuit is a Pepperidge Farm Chessman.
Voila.
And you pick it up, and you count on the count of 5. You dunk it into the tea, hold for 5, and then raise it up. And then as the tea soaks down into the biscuit, you engage in witty repartee. And then the last person to get the whole cookie, or at least the most of the cookie as they can, into their mouth is the winner.
Okay, so we're going to demonstrate that. Basically, the idea is you want to be the last person to eat the cookie, but if it breaks apart and falls on you, you lose. So, okay, so Jeff Richardson from Academia Duellatoria, because over the past few months, you and your business partner have whacked me about the head with rapiers. You assaulted me with a walking stick a little bit earlier. I thought, why not you and I engage in something I might have a fighting chance in? Because I am a championship cookie eater, if nothing else, and probably nothing else. So, Julie, I'm going to have you be the officiant, if you would, and basically, we're now going to follow your lead. So you let us know how it goes. Let the tea duel commence. Let's do this.
Let us begin.
Okay.
So each of you please take your biscuit and hold it up. And when I say dunk, in 3, 2, 1, dunk. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull your biscuit out of your teeth and hold it up.
Now we must hold it like so until we pop the entire thing into our mouth, good sir. I'd hate for your cookie to crumble, as it were, but you want to be the last person to do this.
Must not splash on the tablecloth.
Oh, should have known that. Okay. Well, sir, it seems...
How good is your nerve?
How good is my nerve? How good is yours, good sir? My cookie is firm, strong, like me.
Only the strongest willpower.
Okay. I'm thinking... Oh, rats.
Oh, no.
Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
And Jeff from Academia Duellatoria is the winner.
So let me get this right. I can't even beat this clown in cookie eating?
Well, this wasn't a contest of the most cookies.
Right.
Got a little on your chin there, Joe.
Thanks. No one asked you. Okay, GearCon, once again, is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Portland Temple. Tell the folks at home about this while I lick my wounds.
So GearCon will be happening at the Portland DoubleTree by Hilton over by the Lloyd Center. You're welcome to come anytime on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. We're doing weekend passes and day passes for all kinds of workshops, panels, and other wonderful things. A little bit of something for everybody that is in the steampunk genre.
Okay, thank you very much. I would shake your hand, but it's covered in slobber and cookie right now. But thank you very much.
How about an elbow?
Boom. Let's do it. You, sir, get nothing. Nothing, I say. So, guys, that'll wrap it up from GearCon. Once again, this is Professor Joseph Googletops, and I apparently can't even win at cookie eating, guys. Let's send it back to you in the studio.
That was fun
There
to
you go.
watch.
Yeah.